This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, live market chat Tuesday, November 21st, 2023. Hopefully you're having a great holiday week. You are surviving, thriving, whatever it is that you need to do. But there's a lot to talk about. And again, we'll catch up on a few things that I think are the emotional, internal things that I think a lot of people sometimes just struggle with in trading. And yeah, hopefully you're having a happy holiday. So far, it's looking like kind of what I thought would happen here. It was like a little up early in the week and then maybe a little choppiness. Again, there's going to be a ton of headlines, light volume, a lot of shiitake going on, essentially. So if you have any questions, again, please reach out. Link to Discord room. Let me throw that into the chat. Oh, come on. Where are you at? Invite people. And yeah, if you ever need any help, again, Calendly link as well. All sorts of stuff in the description. Do not be scared to ask questions. Trading is not incredibly hard, but it is hard mentally at times. I think that's the best way to describe it. So, all right. What did we talk about going into last week, this week, whatever? This is an extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary move. I even said this. This was the biggest 5-day decrease in the VIX. I think it was going back 20 years. Now, percentage-wise, not just point-wise, obviously. Point-wise, no, not even close. But percentage-wise, it was huge. Look what we've done. And people might be getting mad, and they're like, oh, the market, you were wrong. It's like, on a probability scale of what has happened, I promise you, this is a 1 in 100 move. So if you get mad that this happens, market got you. Humility, nothing is certain. Layer in, layer out, layer in small. Set your stops, define your risk. Like, that's the hardest shit possible. It's all mental. It's like nothing's changed other than the seasonality squeeze, essentially. Like, there was obviously liquidity, and then you got the bounce. And then the bounce, you had a ton of people short. You had hedge funds, institutions, incredibly short. Now, sometimes they're going to be right. Remember that. Like, they're going to be hugely short going into the market meltdown. Some of them are. But then you had, like, was it Jim Chanos? Blows up his short ETF. Or it's not a short ETF, but you know what I mean. His short hedge fund. I mean, it was used, at one point, it was valued at $3 billion. I think they cashed out people at 200 mil. So even pros get crushed. Like, this is the problem with trading. Like, if you have no humility, the market's going to get you. And that's why we love to talk about the rules. And this is the thing. If you started shorting up here and you just didn't define your risk, ouch. And that's where it's like, hey, wait a couple days. Probably going to get into some, let some levels play out. We went from I wouldn't say extremely oversold. We went from oversold now to overbought. Like, if this whole action created an oversold condition, what do you think this has done? Right? I'm talking about this. You all hear me? No one's really responding. Usually they are. To this. Make sense? Any questions, thoughts, concern? Just figure to ask real quick before I keep going. Any thoughts? Sorry, someone just texted me. Not somebody, actually, my wife. Yeah, so that's the question you have to ask here. And so we know the holiday weeks are typically short and are going to be a little volatile, right? Naturally. But we knew going into NVIDIA's earnings, can I get a mic check? Hopefully I'm not talking to myself. That we knew, like, going into the sentiment was already bullish, right? Everyone's like, NVIDIA's taking us to new 52-week highs. We can only go to the moon, right? So Monday, I said very clearly, I think, let me see if I can find where I put it or where I said it. I think I just said it in my main money-making room. Said shorting Apple, but I said in the main chat, like, very clearly, like, we won't fight. I'm looking to short into the Monday close because we figured there would be a continuation. right? Did you figure that? Anyone figure that? Because the sentiment was just getting stupid. And I mean, stupid again is relative, right? Because you can be wrong with stupid sentiment. But I got a lot of people trolling hard, like, oh, it's going to the moon. You can't do that. And I'm like, do I sniff that? Smells like a trap. Because remember, at the bottom, we're going to hear the same thing. Like, it only can go to the freaking floor. I'm trying to think of, like, what was that? Hulk Hogan? Only the floor. No, Randy Savage, is that his voice? We're going to the ground. Yeah. Stepping to a Slim Jim. Like, the world's going to end. Like, when you start hearing that stuff at the lows and I'm getting trolled, and again, trolling's always going to happen, but like by people like, oh, it's definitely the end of the world, and now it's like, we can only go to the moon. Moonshots only, bro. NVIDIA to 1,000. Okay, we'll see. I mean, I guess, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I mean, and this is the thing, like, look at this action. Look at this action. Okay. Right? People are like, you're shorting Apple? Yeah, I'm starting some shorts. Again, I don't know if I'll get into everything until probably the next like bounce at some point. Because again, if we dump, great. There'll be a bounce. But I do know going into the end of November, there's going to be some profit taking, right? Like this is going to go down as one of the best months in history. Yeah, exactly. People are bragging everywhere. And so look, where's October? Yeah. Here's the first day. Will we close at the highs? That would be impressive. My thinking would be some sort of drop, pop, flop. But I could be wrong. I could give it all back too. That's what the irony here is, because if something comes out, say it's NVIDIA's, like, again, I don't want to speculate on anything other than something could happen. Black swans, we talk about them all the time. Things come out of nowhere. You don't know why something happens till after it starts. Could give it right back, because this isn't healthy. People are like, oh, this is bullish. I'm like, no, this is not how bull markets work. They don't fucking rip straight line. When we talk about straight line moves come at the end, like, look at this. Up, chop. Back, chop, 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 chop. Look at this. Climb the wall of worry. Chop, 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 chop. Blow off top. Oh, one more. Right? Even this move got pulled back. Oh, crap. I just lost my trend line. Lost my train of thought, trend line. Like, look at these. Kapow. Right? Like, look at them. Like, straight line moves, and then kapow. And this is what I would love, personally. Where are we at? I don't think we're going to get, like, that December move, but I would like to see this. Going into the end of the month, you kind of chop around, you pull back, then kapow. Like, or that's the repeating pattern I'm typically used to. Like, some pullback, then drop. But here's a peak during OPEX, the 20th, 25th. Again, it's the odds, probabilities, in my opinion, are we're closer to the high. Could this be the high? I don't know. Shit. I'm not going to sit here and go, well, yesterday had to be the high. But it makes sense to start dipping the toe. Profit taking. Even if you weren't shorting, if you weren't taking profits, what the fudge are you doing? Oh, it's just got to go to the moon. It's like, no, it fucking doesn't. Stop it. Stop it. When you get greedy, you need to start unloading. When you get scared, you probably need to start accumulating. Accumulating. Right? Make sense? Make sense? Hold on 1 second. Does that make sense? So just be thoughtful. Be careful. Like, don't sit here with your head up your ass. If you're trading the market, trade it. Now, again, if you're a long-term investor, I don't trust anything long-term. Go look at the 1970s, Ned Davis research, 1973, 1974. You had some incredible volatility. As inflation entrenched, interest rates were all over the place. I don't know. Because here's the thing. Like, let's look at it. TLT. Largest volume ever at the lows. We talked about it's due to bounce. Watching the 90 level. The Feds have $8.4 trillion of long-term debt they need to roll over next year. Good luck. Good luck, whoever's buying our bonds. That's what I mean, like begging Xi to come here. Buy our debt, please. Please buy our debt. Buy our debt because if you guys don't help us out, come on, Japan, print some money, buy our debt, because if not, we're going to have to do it ourselves. So, I mean, you got Argentina. You see what's going on in Spain. I mean, there's some definitely calls for the end of socialism, which is finally, I mean, again, I'm sorry, I'm an unapologetic, pure capitalist at heart. Like, socialism has great intentions, but always gets manipulated. And people say, well, capitalism is bad too. I'm like, if you let the free market do what it's supposed to do, and we have not these like mixed economies where government's telling winners and losers, no. People vote with their wallets. People vote with their actions. And it keeps things in control, right? But you let people buy votes off because we don't have pure, like, unadulterated, like, pure capital. Like, and people are like, oh, competition, you don't have, like, compassion for the others. No, you do. Like, actually, it makes sense. Like, when you start making more money, you can help more people. If we're all poor, I can't help anybody out. If we're all poor, we're all poor. And we're in socialism, we're eating out of bread lines, or communism, then we're all poor. But if I'm a capitalist, I mean, look about like the 1930s. I know there was basically oligopolies, but man, look at what Rockefeller and some of these other homies did. I mean, they gave a lot of money back. I wouldn't say necessarily Rockefeller. What was Carnegie? All these guys. Again, but that's the problem here. Is like there's no pure version of anything, right? Like you need government control, but you need capitalism as a foundation. And people go, oh, you're crazy. It's like, come on, man. Like name a socialist communist form of government that actually like brought wealth to anyone other than the government or the people who were like manipulating it. Right? The people like the oligarchs, say like in Russia or in China, what's going on in China. Do you think the people there are getting more abundant? Sorry to get on that tangent, but that's the reality. So at this point, where was I going with this? I don't even know. Oh, bonds. We're begging everyone to buy our bonds. Like we don't have like real market dynamics at play here. Like because again, if we end up starting to buy our own bonds, we're basically saying to the world that we don't care about fiscal responsibility. The same thing with Japan. And that's why the Japan yen went from nothing to something to like nothing. Will that happen to us? Well, it happened to are we about to like every fiat currency go like that? Or that's where, again, Bitcoin, gold, silver, hard assets, real estate. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if it does, you better have some hedges. You better have some real assets holding on to. Now, I don't go digging a pool in your backyard and fill it with oil. Well, maybe, I don't know if that's what you want to do, but you're going to need a lot of it to hedge. But buying some gold, buying some silver, I guess you could try to buy uranium. Just kidding. Yeah, owning a house. Having debt is good at this point, remember, because debt will get devalued. I always tell this to folks, like when I first got into real estate in the early 2000s, I was meeting guys that like bought houses in the 1970s when interest rates were high, and they're like, yeah, I had a mortgage at 20%, but it was a loan of $25,000, and this is in North Carolina, me talking like a hillbilly. I'm like, And then they're like, yeah, I refinanced that son of a bitch down, and I have it's kind of a joke. I have a mortgage of $10,000 on this rental property, 30 years. I'm like, that's a joke. So again, devalued debt will benefit people who own hard assets and have loans. Remember, like the government's literally trying to devalue the dollar so they don't have to pay back debt. Billions will be nothing. It's like, hey, I've got $100 bill will be the new like $1 bill at some point if they go off the deep end. I don't know why I'm getting on these off topics, but watch the TLT. My bad. It's a dollar. Someone sometimes steer me back into the reality of what we need to talk about. Talking about watching this 29 area. So far, so bueno. The VIX, absolute, just, no way in my mind did I think we'd get back to like the low 13s. I thought down here made sense. And then I thought, here's my drawing. My name is Dan, I like to do drawings. That's what I thought. I think Sabalino, if he's around, he's the one who's like, oh, it's going back down to 12. And I was like, really? No way. That'd be fucking nuts. Well, Nuck and Futz was right. Vixen. Look at this, the volatility of the VIX. Or, sorry, the NASDAQ 100, if you're not familiar with this. Can you see this up here? That's, oh, there goes my, everything's disappearing. Oh, I brought it up to the top. Oh, you just screwed that up. How do I get out of that? All right, well, we'll fix that here. SPY. Let's go back to the spiders. How do I get this back down? Oh, I know what I did. I screwed up. No. Oh, I just need to remove the study. Sorry. All right, we'll get it out of the way for now. Oh, the dynamic trades. Whatever. I just screwed that up. Money flow, current vol. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's the. I don't know if you guys watch this. Historic volatility is always interesting. Notice that highs in historic volatility. What happens? You get some bottoms. Anyway, that's just but that's like oversold over. It's all subjective. So SPY, yeah, ripping up here. Like, come on. Someone was like busting balls and like, oh, you didn't see this coming. I'm like, nobody saw this coming. Like, don't sit here and like pat yourself on the back. Like, oh, I knew the market was going from 410 up to 455. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here with that. Again, humility. Have it. If you don't have humility, you're gonna get burned. QQQ, back up. Got some highs. We've talked about this on the weekly. Interesting area. Oh, it's new 52-week highs. Stay humble, man. Yeah, because then, I have it in my journal. Like, that's my biggest issue, that I always have to be just humble. Because what's crazy is when, I know what happened. All my moving averages disappeared. I'm like, why do these charts look so flimsy? We know for a fact that you will make your own you're going to sink yourself if you don't. Where on my chart? Where'd they all go? Oh, I know what I'm going to have to do. Give me a second. I'm going to have to close my charts real quick and then reopen them. But hopefully that makes sense. Again, I'm not trying to sit here and preach something that I'm trying not to do myself. Like, I can admit to myself when I make mistakes. You're expecting any kind of pump with the FOMC minutes later today, or you think you're just kind of chopping around? It's a good question, because I know the FOMC minutes are coming out. Again, everyone knows there's a pause, right? Like, we've talked about May probabilities as the first potential, like, opening for cuts. I'm seeing if it's March. March just keeps creeping up 30%. And again, I've seen it 20, 30%. Again, it looks like there's, and this is the thing, I think we all know this, right? Like, the pause, you've got December and January, 100%. But we know things can fall off a cliff fast, and then those pauses can turn into cuts. Like, these odds will start popping up here. It'll be like, it'll look like more like this, where this will start popping up. Or it'll look like this, where there'll be like multiple different versions of. So, yeah, I'm reclosed. I just closed my charts, Eric. I'm like, I just fudged that up. Drinking and driving. No, I'm just kidding. Making mistakes. All right, here we go. They're back. Guess who's back? Back again. Oh, hey, buddy. All right, back. I lost all of these moving averages and everything. Yeah, and this is the thing. I think we've talked about how the pauses become very crucial for the feds to try to anticipate what's going on. And this is the thing, like, they're praying that it pauses and it doesn't create more inflation. But here's, again, the big elefante in the room is good old oil. I'm starting to hear OPEC cut again. OPEC coming with the cutter. Coors cutter. Remember that? Yeah. So keep an eye on that, because oil will obviously be a big one. Gold, people are like, oh, you missed the bottom. I'm like, no. Actually, I didn't. We called that. But the problem is that the next move, I don't know. I don't trust this at all. I'd rather be late than early. It's like kind of like bonds. Like, if bonds have bottomed, then gold will get bought because people know they're trying to control the yield curve, meaning they're trying to like increase liquidity. They're going to be buying bonds. We haven't seen that program kick in. OPEC cuts, other countries produce more. That's true. That is, and there's no trust among thieves, right? Right? Can't trust each other. So But yeah, back to Qs. IWM, again, continuing to lagadoo. And this is where this one actually, I mean, I know some folks shorted up here. Man, that yesterday was probably the short. I don't know if we'll get back up there, but that looks pretty sound. Gold holding up. We talked about silver, gold, miners. Everybody wants the miners. I mean, I want to see just pure panic. But instead, we're seeing pure chop. Keep an eye on it. XOP. Pray, set the alert, right? Oh, I've got a notification. Oh, Edit James is following me. All right, I love when people troll me and then they like start following me. It's like, oh, cool, thanks, man. Watching this. XOP to 80. Oh yeah, I mean, if it gets ugly, yeah, I don't think you're getting to the 40s. I can jump on the 80 bandwagon. Yeah, I can dig that. 80 makes pretty reasonable sense. I'm trying to think of anything else I'm really looking at. MPC, again, man, really wanted to see some more action up in the 150s. Remember we talked about solar just being absolute shit and then due to bounce? Oh, what's up, Ryan? Yeah, watching this area. Again, solar. Here's the thing, though. We know solar got a bunch of subsidies with the passing of the short-term omnibus or whatever the crap it was. They got $3.5 billion in battery, whatever. I mean, it's just the whole green energy sector catching a little bit. No one should be surprised. We talked about, like, man, these things have just gotten absolutely crushed. Like, don't just sit here and short the lows. And now, again, if you're long-term, I mean, you're definitely seeing some short covering. That's, at worst, that's what that is. I don't know if it's accumulation. Because I don't think I think this could be longer-term accumulation, but I don't think they're going to let it off the hook that easily. Because, again, if oil hasn't bottomed, then it's like, do you really trust it? Adobes, yeah, Sedge. I mean, these names are going to get rocked. Talked about Adobe on the weekly. Apple, love it up here. I mean, again, some people are like, 195, 197 is the only short. And it's like, okay, I get it. Do all gaps fill? No, not always. No, we don't. No. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, could it be just this? Yeah, maybe. We're not there yet. Amazon. Again, this one's going to be interesting. I was really looking at this one, hoping today wasn't a pro gap and it's over. It's looking more like a gap and chop. CRM, watching these areas. I mean, again, I could talk about all the levels. Any questions? What's up, Scott? Saying we need panic week for oil. I just don't think you're going to see oil dump until the market dumps together. Like, I don't like seeing the market rise and oil down. That, to me, gets people thinking, well, inflation's coming down. Margins are going to be better. Companies are going to do better. And it's like they're just laying off people. Demand destruction is there. It's just a matter of if not when. Watching the Goog up here, Head and Shoulders, toppy. What else do I have on my list? Amazon and NDAQ. Give it to me, baby. I'm eyeing this one. Hard. Go hard or go home. You see the VAP zone up here. It seems like it might have a 55 handle on it, but yeah, love that. The Tesla, saw that up $7 or $8 earlier. Gets a little interesting. It's just, do we need a 100-day? A little bit of a 100-day chop flop ballot. Oh, come on. Upload 100-day. Do we need a 100-day touch? Yeah, Netflix is up in the zone. You can see on the weekly here. I mean, I didn't honestly think it would get up here, but look what's going on. You have an old trendy line up here. I mean, you're not that far off from it. I mean, is everyone going to Netflix and chill over the holidays? Again, I don't watch TV anymore. It's kind of, I like using my brain. I don't shut it off. Intellectually coming into some zones. Check this out. I mean, these things seem like, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, the Magnificent Seven. Scott, you know this probably. Others probably need to hear. Like, Institutionally hedge fund, mutual fund, 99% of these institutions as a whole own the Magnificent Seven. The highest holding before now was 78%. So with this last run up in the Qs, the Magnificent Seven got even more overbought. It's crazy. I didn't realize like what percentage of companies, or not companies, institutions held this. 99%. Are we going to get to 100? Maybe. NVIDIA, we talked about back testing the trend line. Oopsie. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's like the IWM in smaller tech. It's just, ain't no momentum coming back to those names. AM Dizzle. Talked about these areas. Again, I don't know. If NVIDIA dumps, does it rally back? And that's my question. Like, I would have in your mind, if the NVID dumps, you get the down, then you get the up, then you get the flop. Like, that's the 3-step process. You get the down, you get the, gotta buy it. It's the first pullback. Oh my God, first pullback. And then what? Yeah. Does this make sense? Like the first dip gets bought? And this is, excuse me, I'm like burpy, like a little baby. I mean, there was no like reload. Like there was no pullback. Sorry, not reload. Like there's multiple days, but it's like drop it, fill maybe the gap, and then rally it back, and then kapow. Yeah, oh yeah. When they liquidate this stuff, it's gonna be epic. It's just, I hope I'm solvent. You know, hope you're solvent. Like we haven't just completely just gone all in and gotten burned. But here's the thing. The thing that I've always had in the back of my question is you got to be careful. If the liquidity machine comes in, I mean, we could see like straight line move even higher. Costco, watching this. I think this is the down candle. I'm watching the 586. Netflix, when's the last time Reed Hastings sold shares a la Bezos, Amazon today? Yeah, I mean, I talked about the 13Fs. Like, you could see that there's not any buying in financials, and there was some selling in certain tech names. Some tech was getting bought. But, again, if I'm selling. I mean, again, I as soon as that news comes out, I'm like, yep, cool, selling. We be selling. Again, the valuations, the interest rates, higher interest rates, the recession. Again, did anyone see? I posted this today. Let me find it, because again, without visual, people are like, "You're just making that up." It's like, okay, fair. That's what you want to believe. I'm always trying to be honest. Yeah, Goog. Did I not post on? Oh shit, I posted on Facebook, I think only. Oh, here it is. The share of U.S. home sellers dropping prices at a record high. Now, again, it doesn't mean like the huge percentage wise, but sellers are coming down. I see this constantly. Oh, you list it for this, doesn't sell, dropping immediately. Dropping, drop. This is again where I tell folks it's better to price it a little below the market to get what? Bidding war than pricing it too high, and next thing you know, it's like you only have one offer. One offer means you have no leverage. One offer means when it goes to inspection, good luck. Good effing luck. Good luck. Be careful. Ten cuidado. Oh, what's up, JC? Like this guy's always bullish. I mean, there's nothing bearish. I like Sunrise Trader. He's cool. Oh, more volatile than gold. Yeah, not surprised. All right, well, it's 11 o'clock. Yeah, Bezos needs a new yacht. No doubt. No diggity. Let me just run through some of these. Oh, I'm like, you got to get the charts, dummy. I like Starbucks on a pop because this makes sense. Like, it's already topping out. I mean, this was distributive as shit, and they just ran it up with the market. I'm sorry. And it's a Head and Shoulders top. And it's just, yeah, you can see it on the weekly. Come to daddy. I don't know. You can draw it to that maybe. I don't know. There's support, resistance all around that 102. Yeah, I don't know. 102 plus. like Starbucks short. Ain't nobody buying coffee. Consumers slowing down at some point. Not that they're not buying it, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be the first thing cut. FedEx, keep an eye on that. Man, Caterpillar, get up. We need another fake China stimulus rumor. Come on, what the fudge? The new core, it looks interesting here. Looks interesting, but man, you're so close to the 100-day. Again, put these on your radar. Financials, get out of here. Come on. Everybody's forgetting what's going on. Carry, not surprised this one's down more. This one's going to get tired. JP Mo, if you shorted the open today, I get it. Oh, XLF, did it hit the back test of the trend line? Did I not save it? No, it didn't hit it. Morgan Stanley, I've got like a wish. I have a Make-A-Wish Foundation that Morgan Stanley hits 82. Bank of America, we've definitely hit this. This is the trend line. But man, uh-oh. Is that a left-right combo? Left, right, doji in the middle combo. Goldman Sachs. Man, look at that multi-day. Watch what happens. Takes out 333. Could fills the gap quick. Yeah. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? I mean, it's not. Man, Airbnb, another one. Ooh, come on. You might not get up there. Some names are clearly going to lag, and then some names are clearly going to lead. That's what you just got to be conscious of going into the next couple days. Remember, it's going to be light volume. Not a lot of participants. People are just... And again, I mean, if I took profits and I was long, God forbid I was lucky enough to have caught that. Again, I just kind of took off from the sidelines and watched. You are not adding, and you're just going, I'm good. But then there's also the squeeze of the shorts and then the people who have to chase. Like those dynamics. Then you're going to throw in the rumors. Retail sales. People are fighting over TVs. You see, like, you're going to see like kind of this excitement about sales. But then the numbers will come out later. And then you just, again, I mean, you have durable orders on Wednesday, and then you have light volume of Thanksgiving. You're going to see all sorts of shit. It's almost like, I don't know, excuse my language. I don't know how to explain it other than it's going to be all over the place. Because it's going to be light volume, and there's going to be tons of rumors. There's going to be tons of projections about what's going to happen, and how are retail sales going, and how are people shopping, and what's going on at Target, and what's going on at Costco, and what's going on here. And then they're going to, like, the media has nothing better to talk about because everybody's sitting around at home drinking eggnog and eating pie, getting fat as fuck. Yeah, baby. Talking about things that are going on. Like who got mauled and stomped over going into a Black Friday event. Sorry, I'm just laughing at myself because that's the shit that I remember watching the news every year around this time. Did you see at Target? People were waiting in line to fight over a 20% discount on a TV. However, I will say this because my wife is a serial retail shopper who loves the Black Friday. Like, she'll literally like create a list of things that she wants. I don't know if you guys noticed this. I mean, Best Buy came out today. Like, Black Friday sales start last week, like this weekend, and then they continue to like try to like cut prices down, and then even like by the time you get to the 40 or 50% off that everyone's thinking about, like it's not there anymore. $7 for a half a gallon of eggnog. Ooh, that's a lot of money. Yeah, I don't shop on Black Friday. I'm not. It sounds racist. So I'm surprised they haven't stopped calling that again, just to make fun of everything. Like, what? I don't know what's black mean. Like, why does it have to be a color? Can't it be just discount Friday? Eggnog, yeah, eggnog is overpriced. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call out. Yeah, I don't get it. Why is it called? Why can't it just be discount Friday? Why does it have to be a color? It sounds rather racist. I think I'm joking. Can't it be just delirious discount Friday? I guess I'll keep my mouth shut. Yeah. Let's just fight over everything. It looks like of Riot Friday. Why don't we call it Riot Shopping Friday? Better lock things up, Target, Walmart. Oh yeah, that's right. They go from losing money in the red to the black. That's right. That's where it comes from. I was like, what? Like, it has to do with some sort of sales thing. All right. Any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Again, I could be wrong here, and this is my anticipation of what's going to happen here. Looks like the dollar's bottoming. TLT topped. QQQ is a little overbought, just a little. Expecting a pullback. Maybe Nvidia's earnings after the close dump. Again, I mean, it's priced to perfection. If it rallies, I don't know. Good question. If it pops, I'm shorting more tomorrow. That's for sure. If it dumps, I'm looking for trading around some positions. I'm not heavy in anything at this point. I do think there'll be some sort of end of the month position squaring. If we're down, people will buy it. If we're up, it'll get sold even harder. That's my thinking. But at this point, you're kind of in between ranges where there's some trading action for sure. But the best shorting opportunities will be on a retest or some sort of bounce. The best longing will be at some sort of blow, like puking, if that's what you decide you need to do. I appreciate you guys. Happy holidays. Maybe try to do a chat tomorrow if you guys are around. Again, it's kind of one of those weeks where people are just like, I don't give a shit. You know, and again, I trade the extremes. Like, that's what you'll see. Like, that's kind of what... Imagine everybody sitting around and they're like, maybe not, everyone's working maybe, but starting like even to today, even tomorrow, like even Friday, people are just, if you see market down, they're going to buy it. If they see it up big, they're going to sell it. So yeah, everyone is expecting a beat from NVIDIA. Yeah, agreed. Everybody and their mom expects NVIDIA. And I mean, again, based on their projections, they're going to go from like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, like $1 or $2 billion in revenue last year at this quarter to like 12 or 20, somewhere in that range. And so everyone's like, oh, wow, their earnings are going to be amazing. Actually, you know what? Give me 2 seconds. I can double check this. I'll leave it on that. Let me just go check their earnings projections. I'll show it. And you can see why people are excited, but it's not like people don't know. Earnings. Yeah, here you go. Let me pull this down. Revenue, and again, this is in the, I think, billions. Consensus revenue growth. So everyone's getting excited about it, right? Okay, 16 billion. Yeah. Like, they're expecting like big growth. No one doesn't expect this, right? Is it sustainable? That's the question. I always argue that anything commodity like in the chip sector, like Microsoft, all these companies are trying to compete. I think Microsoft, but I'm talking like Microsoft, Apple, Google, like they'll try to collaborate on a chip. Everybody wants to get the cost down. Like, tech is deflationary by nature. Nobody's going to continue paying whatever they were charging at one point for servers that were unique, that now everybody's ripping off and making duplicates of some sort. So keep that in mind. All right. I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful, amazing day. Talk to you guys and gals later. Peace.